This is something I like to reiterate every time I film in front of this part of my little setup. These bins are full of old comic books. I have to go through them all for my grandpa and get them inventoried. I got some right here, you can see. Here's some Fantastic Four. So they're just there. Ignore them if you can. Focus on this or that or that or anything else but the bins. Again, they're kind of old, but hey, it's fun. We like comic books, right? That's why we're talking about this. We are talking Stargirl Episode 2 dropped the other day, and holy cow, do I love what this show is doing. I think more than the first episode, this one really showed me what this series is going to be. It's a coming-of-age story for the character of Courtney Whitmore. It is a high school thing. I just got to check my phone here, see what's up. That's fun. I'm going to keep this part in because that's what I like to do. But no, it's really about Courtney learning to become Stargirl, and there's a lot of good stuff in there that I really liked. She gets her costume in this episode, which is pretty early on in the season to get a really nice costume like that. I do like that she takes the original Starman costume and alters it so it fits her. I like that she took it to school to do that too and use the sewing machines there. Because I'll say this too, I love the scene where the suit keeps breaking the costume, or the costume keeps breaking the sewing machines, It's so funny because those suits are supposed to be strong and durable, so yeah, it's not going to work on a regular sewing machine. I really liked that angle. I thought it was really cool and really fun. And man, that Stargirl costume looks great. Like, it is the nicest looking live action costume for a show on the CW. And I know it's not really on the CW, it's just being like released there, but it just looks so nice and really cool to see. Same with Stripe. Like, this episode is titled Stripe. It's about the 17-foot robot suit that Pat wears. Wow. That thing looks pretty good given the CGI for it. I mean, you could obviously tell it's not as expensive as a movie or some other TV shows. I want to say Doom Patrol doesn't look as good as Robot Man does. It looks great, though. I think for what it is, it holds up really nice, really well, and I'm very impressed with how it looks. And I'm really happy with this show because it's given us almost an entire episode that's dedicated to Pat Dugan and his side of the story. This episode is called Stripe because it focuses on Pat a lot. And those were some of the best episodes of this show so far, the best moments too. You just see him. I love this scene when Luke Wilson is just on fire in this show. I love the parts of this episode where Luke Wilson goes to train in a gym because the guy's like, yeah, we're going to get you ripped. You're going to work out so hard, look so good. Get that filthy crap out of here. You're not eating this year. You were working out so hard. I love seeing him in the gym. And I love the training montage where he's trying to get the arm or the hand to fire off of the Stripe suit, and it's not working. It keeps malfunctioning, and then it hits him in the back of the head. I love that stuff. That was really well done. And that's another thing about this show, too. You're taking the campy, you're taking the serious, you're putting it all together, and it's working really well because, like, come on, the JSA's got a little bit of camp to them. I love it and I respect them, but there's a little bit of camp to that, and playing that up, I think, is working really well, and it's doing a great thing in this show. So this episode was really focused on Pat Dugan. We saw a lot of great stuff with him there, and it was also focused on Courtney trying to figure out how to deal with this enemy because she is really adamant here. She wants to be the hero. She wants to be the next Starman. She calls herself Stargirl. She's really on board with the idea that Sylvester is her father. I wonder how they're going to play that, if they're going to actually make Sylvester her father, or if they're going to go a different route, maybe with somebody else. We'll have to see what happens there. That could be a really fun dynamic to see there too, so we'll just have to wait and see. And then you just see the way she just wants to work with Pat to do this, because their relationship now, I think, has blossomed and grown up a lot. I'm really interested in what that's going to be, because in the first episode you see she's kind of like, oh, I don't like Pat, he's my stepdad, I don't like him. But they really just went away from that really quick here, and it's very much like, we're going to do this together. You're Stripe, you're in a big robot suit, you're going to be Stargirl's sidekick, and we're going to go fight Brainwave. And man, I like the way Brainwave is looking too. The costume, I think, is basic compared to some of the other ones we've seen so far, but it looks really good. I really did like seeing just how they handled that situation. I like seeing the fight between Stripe and Brainwave, and Pat's trying to figure out how he's going to do that. He's still trying to figure out how the armor works. It doesn't really work for him. He's crushing cars, he's throwing cars. That stuff all looks good. And then the Courtney stuff. Okay, when Courtney is jumping out off her roof and she's surfing on the cosmic staff, man, I got chills again. That shit looked so good and so amazing. I cannot believe we got this show coming out. Like, it's just so gorgeous to look at. And they take Brainwave off the table really quick. Like, I know Icicle's supposed to be like the big bad, and that's how we're kind of teasing it up to be, because he does show up at the end here. I know we're teasing him to be the big bad kind of, but we took Brainwave off the table really quick. It makes me think that his son is going to take up the mantle, or maybe get his powers coming in soon, because there's a moment in this episode where you see his son, I think his name's Henry Jr., he steals some money and his dad's just talking to him. He's like, what am I thinking right now? He's just trying to get him to emulate these powers, have these powers come forward. That stuff's really cool. I like the son a lot. He's kind of the typical like bully character, but I think there's going to be a lot more interesting stuff with him going forward that I'm interested to see. And his dad's in a coma now, so that's more reason for him to figure out a little bit more about his past with the Injustice League. I'm sorry, it's Injustice Society. The names are bad. Courtney calls it out. The names are kind of dumb. Stripey, Injustice, as compared to Justice, it's stupid, it's fun. And it's kind of cool, right? So that could be really exciting to see too. And Icicle does show up at the end. I really do think he's going to be our next big bad. Who else did we have teased there? I can't remember. Who's the guy with the wand? Was there a guy with a wand? I know Sportsmaster is supposed to appear at some point. We saw more Grundy. 2 episodes in a row of Grundy making, even if it's just a small cameo, a comic book Solomon Grundy. That's really cool. I can't wait to see what happens there. That's really exciting. So this is really turning out to be a great show. I love every second of it. There's everything about it's just really fun. The scene when they're at the high school open house and Courtney's just kind of looking through the crowd trying to find the guy that attacked her, and then Pat's just kind of doing the same thing, surveying there. Look, Brett Basinger, I think that's how you say it. I messed it up last time too, I know. And Luke Wilson, wow. Like, their chemistry, they are holding the show together. If there was lesser actors in either of these roles, it wouldn't hold up as well as it does. And I can say that wholeheartedly, knowing that for a fact. This is amazing. Just how these two play off each other and how they interact in the world. How they lie to the mother character, like, oh, how'd you injure yourself? Oh, we fell down some stairs. Saying that together, I like that. I do have a couple things that kind of upset me about this episode. They're nothing major. The first one is every time when Pat references his family, like, I'm doing this to protect you and your mother, and then he just kind of pauses and then he says his son Mike. It's not like a big deal, but I've noticed it. I think it happened 3 times or maybe even twice in this episode, where he's just doing, I want to protect you, Courtney, I want to protect your mom, and he just kind of stops there. And my son too. It's like, wouldn't you say your son first? I don't know. I just think it's really funny and something that I notice. I don't know if it's inherent in the writing, like that's how it was written on paper by like maybe Jeff Johns or someone. I just feel like it's maybe Luke Wilson forgot to mention Mike, so they just kind of like, oh, you have to mention Mike too. So like, okay, say your line and then say Mike too there. So that notice too. And the other thing I didn't really like was the female character who's going to be Courtney's friend later on. I can't remember her name or the actress, but looks like she's going to be Dr. Midnight in the stills that we saw. I don't find her likable. And even to the point where I don't think we're supposed to find her that cool or interesting. Her parents kind of like FaceTime her when they're all eating their lunch, and even the dad's kind of like, okay, I gotta have actual work to do here, so can you just like go make friends and stop bothering me? The character's not likable, she's socially inept, and I think that's what the character's supposed to be, but it's not coming across in a way that I find interesting or compelling. So we'll have to see where that character goes. I'm not impressed. I like the other girl. I like the other guy. I think those are going to be more interesting than this girl who's obviously filling the role of the quirky one in a way that I'm not impressed with. So we'll have to see what happens there. I really liked this show. I think this is going to be a fun one going forward. It's comic booky, it's intense, but it's also very quirky and campy and takes itself in ways that are serious. But come on, when you have mind powers and you're wearing a leotard that's all in green and you got a trench coat over that and you're fighting a 17-foot tall robot that's shooting like its hand at you, take it campy, have fun with it, do something silly and fun. And also have time to breathe and have those fun moments, right? Because that's what we want. This is well worth your watch, and I really do think that. So I hope everybody goes out to check out Stargirl, 2 episodes in, DC Universe, CW. Go check it out, guys. It's well worth your watch. So thank you for watching this review. I will catch you guys in the next one. You can check me out on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, or anywhere. Really, have fun, stay safe, good luck, enjoy your lives, or don't. I don't control you. Tsunami Studios.